what's the reason to come up with this idea?
Well, I suppose it's been something I've been thinking about for quite a number of years. I was really aware that there's very little information or anything about Japanese women who are living in this country. You don't see them in the media, you don't see them on television necessarily. You know, in terms of, I suppose, visibility, I didn't really know much about stories from these women. And my mother, she came over in the 50s, and, you know, of her generation and beyond, there's very little known. And I think that's what drove me to, and I was really interested in what the stories might be, because I think there's also a lot of preconceptions and stereotypes around Japanese women, you know, that they're sort of very demure or submissive, or or just housewives and you know, model mothers. But I think there's a lot more than that, and I wanted to sort of find out.
Yes. Yeah, you called me, and you invited me, and then I was very excited, because this project might reveal something which I'm a very big part of it. And I have a group called Frank Chickens, in which I meet with 20 or so Japanese women, and now because we expanded from duet to now such a big group. And I always feel like very comfortable meeting with them, and there's something I find, Japanese women who live in England has something sort of in common we can share, instantly share, like as if we belong to the same club where Japanese women in England. And I thought with this project we can find out something about what's behind this club mentality, and why we are all here. And so it's all very connected to me being here. And so I think I think
that's one of the themes, isn't it? Connection. It's about how we connect to each other, how you're connecting with your fellow Japanese women, how I connect to my mother's generation, but also how, Japanese women connect to wider society. What is it like to be a Japanese woman living in the UK now? Yes. And also, I was particularly interested, I suppose, in the post-war generation, post Second World War. What were the experiences for women who were coming, early on in those times, in the 50s and 60s? Yeah,
because I suppose the Frank Chickens community, and also the women who I meet, is all kind of having they had a chance to sort of escape from Japan. They could come here and they could live here, but much older generations, how they managed, it's a mystery. And no transport even, they didn't have airplane. And I was very interested in hearing that, how they managed, how they survived, all that, which might give us some guidance how we can survive.
It's true.
Yes.
But also, I think, and this is an opportunity really to collect and to find those stories, and we're doing it through oral history interviews. So, we've been really fortunate to get some funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund, and so we brought volunteers together when we had that launch in January at the Museum of London.
Yeah.
They've been very supportive, and we're working with the Japan Society as a partner to really reach out and find who these women, and it could be anybody.
Yeah.
So we're not necessarily interested in people who've made a name for themselves here at all, but just actually that the hidden side, I suppose, that community that you talked about, the Frank Chickens. I don't know much about them. I'd love to find out more.
And listening to those interviews, they are not famous, or we not instantly we know their names and their lives, but all those people who I was very inspired. Everybody has something which, something which they had to overcome. It's not big, it's like in older generations, they had to overcome the lack of the airplane to start with. But even the younger generation, some of them living here in different culture and different language, and they had to overcome something, and that's very fascinating.
Yeah, in many ways they're like pioneers, I think, because so many came over and didn't know anyone living here. So I think, having an opportunity to collect those stories or hear those stories and then turning it into some kind of performance for the public is what we're going to do, which is really exciting. As artists, we want to. I'm very keen on bringing these stories to a wider audience, and through that, we'll be doing that with the exhibition. And there's also part of the project where we're going to be involving younger people. So first, second generation will be interviewing their mothers or grandmothers through and they're going to be working with a film company to learn how to do interviewing and using their mobile phones to interview. So that will be part of an exhibition.
Yeah.
Their footage will be edited, be part of the exhibition, and then that will be alongside the performance that we do.
Very universal thing, isn't it? Because now globalization is happening and all that. Everybody's like traveling or settling in different country, and if we can show some kind of insight of that, how we can do that mixing and cohabiting in a same space, how if we can show something that it will be quite very useful, I think. Hope so.
I hope so too. And then I suppose we've also we're doing it not just in London as well, so we're trying to really reach out to women across the UK. And I think in terms of where the legacy of this project, I suppose I was thinking, it's wonderful that the Museum of London have been so interested and supportive about this project, and they're really keen for us to give them the oral history, so it becomes part of their oral history collection. And they're also moving to a new museum, a whole new building in Smithfield with I've seen some of the plans. It's really exciting, and so it'd be wonderful to have a presence there with the exhibition that we do, and with the performance.
And I hope there should be artistic legacy too, because like a show which we are going to make, we hope, has an artistic quality as well as this sociological value.
Yeah, and we're going to be working with some AR, which is really exciting. Augmented reality.
Yes.
Don't forget that bit, but that's another interesting layer. But there's something about going into this, going imaginatively into people's lives, and the sort of the distance between sort of public facing life, what we see on the surface, and then the sort of inner domestic, maybe hidden life.
And technology can help, this linking this, isn't it?
To the imaginative side of things and to the emotional world. Yeah. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. And new technology. How can people get in touch with us?
So if they send an email to Tsunagu at yellowearth.org.uk, that would be great. And we're still interviewing at the moment, so we'd love to hear from more people.
Yes, more people.
And basically anyone who's been here for more than 10 years.
Right.
So, and living and working here.
Yes.